Dusk is in the style of a 90s old school shooter, a boomer shooter if you will, which is all the rage at the moment with us old blokes with beards and those developing grey pubic hairs. What are you meant to do with grey pubic hairs? Do you dye them? Before all these tactical cover-based pussy-wielding army shooters came out, we just had good old-fashioned, fast-paced, ball-breaking, beer-drinking, heavy metal, Granny Smith-eating, brutal-as-fuck shooters that sometimes made us poop. Mainly from all the shite we'd been eating and drinking. After 2 Red Bulls, my arsehole looked like the Grand Canyon. Everyone knows the classics. Doom, Duke Nukem, Quake, Unreal Tournament. Games that kept you in your seat for hours and hours. So long in fact you could fry 2 slices of bacon off your butt cheeks. So I'm looking forward to getting into this one. Seems like a good way to unwind and wash away the stresses of life. The game itself has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. If you look on the page, it retails for $14.99. Probably around $20 I would think. There are 3 chapters currently released in the campaign. These being the Foothills, the Facilities, the Nameless City. This video covers the first whole chapter. The game itself consists of 5 difficulty modes. I just picked the middle option. I can take it. Mainly because I can, unless it's 12 inches, and for the fact this is likely going to be normal mode. There does not seem to be much of a story with Dusk, at least not at the beginning anyways. I have a theory on the story, and it goes a little something like this. 6 environmentalists go into the woods to save some woodland creatures, when after 2 hours, the other 5 give up for insanitary conditions. But your character, being strong-willed, continues on, until he approaches a house. There is a light on in the house, and a great big welcome sign hanged on the front door. All this looks friendly, he thinks, whilst reaching into his pocket for his hunting knife. He starts knocking twice on the door, but no cunt answers. But he noticed the door was actually open. Stepping through the front door, he gets an overwhelming smell of cheese. Whilst wandering around the house, listening to his Jimmy Neal cassette tapes on his Sony Walkman, he soon discovers that the house has more banging going on than Katie Price's haunted vagina. He follows the banging, and it leads him to a staircase leading down to a basement. In the basement, he starts searching the room for a weapon to defend himself against the heavy breathing coming from upstairs. This is when the level Hard Cheese kicks off and you're accompanied by 3 chainsaw-wielding, bag-wearing hillbillies, which could be something out the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Slashed around like some maniac with my sickles until I discovered a hidden area with a pistol in. Now I could get all John Wayne on them. Sickle is obviously a melee-style weapon, but it can also be used to deflect projectiles and angry vegetarians. After slashing around at them for a bit, I managed to clear the area where I proceeded to look around the room like I was Sherlock fucking Holmes. I then found another secret entrance. Start getting used to searching for secret locations as this happens throughout the game. Before you know it, you'll be smoking a cigar and wearing a trilby. After butchering some mages with my sickles, I found another pistol which allowed me to dual wield. Further around the corner is where I met my first bull and the 3rd enemy type of the game. You can also pick up and move objects like in Half-Life, and an object worth getting is the soap, which is an instant kill on anyone who comes into contact with it. On a whole, the first level is a good introduction to the game, and it flows rather nicely. Down on the farm starts you off in a field full of hay bales and enemies to kill from the get-go. Now let's talk about the shotgun, as it's a great main weapon throughout the rest of the chapter and the game, and you can really feel the recoil on the weapon when it's firing. When wielding 2 shotguns, you're in heaven. You flip around to reload with every shot taken, whilst you simply prance around the level strafing like you're Mary fucking Poppins on cocaine. This level had a very eerie soundtrack throughout, which I loved. There's something about the combination between the graphics, creepy music and sound effects that puts you on edge. Moving this box next to the cornfields allows you to access to this important secret which gives you the rivet gun. You will also encounter the rats down here, which you will find on more levels going forward. Back in the cornfields, watch out for bulls sneaking up on you, especially playing with your brand new toy. Next we meet the Scarecrow. Pretend to be unanimated, he springs to life giving you a shock. This cunt is no Wizard of Oz type of Scarecrow. He's a pissed off angry straw man with a love for a double barreled shotgun. The red key, just like in the classics, you need to find these to advance to the next area within the levels. Just think of them as the key cards in Duke Nukem. This next part is damn satisfying as the metal music kicks in and you're going at it with both your shotguns. The second level, down on the farm, was a great level and much better than the previous, which is to be expected as the game is just opening up. Old Time Religion was a level I got confused where I was meant to go for the first time, so I spent some time on this one walking around. Crows can be heard straight away while entering the level, which makes you instantly know there's going to be some death happening. There's a church with a creepy graveyard. This is where I started my career as a grave robber. There is also a small tomb with a yellow key to advance. This crypt type location is very well done and feels eerie throughout. It can be found under the church through a series of caves. Remember those rats? You get to have fun with them on this level. This also brings us to the automatic machine gun. A decent enough weapon and pretty much what you expect. It is very useful at taking down multiple enemies at once though. There is some intense stuff later on in this level. It gets a little bit hairy here as well. And I'm not talking about me pubes. And then finally, you will make it through to your first boss, the Intoxicator. It's a crocodile type boss. And he is pretty easy, just stand your distance and give him the machine gun action. No need to go all Crocodile Dundee with your sickles. After killing the alligator, stroke crocodile, you hear a voice complaining about it. This is part of the main story.
My pet, you'll pay for that.
Overall, this was a great level. It took a while, but that's because I got lost that many fucking times. But other than that, it was a good, solid level. Remember, never go backpacking with me. The Steamworks starts off with a chainsaw-wielding man attacking you, and you get to admire the lovely pipe work of this maze-like level. The level itself puts you on edge right from the start, especially when you hear chainsaws revving and you don't know which direction your enemy is coming from. Some slidey action sections in the Steamworks, and please don't try this at home or you'll get carpet burns. I'm currently still healing the wounds right now. This is also where you get your first double barrel shotgun, or the super shotgun some would say. It's so satisfying when they explode into gory, bloody messiness, and the sound is very boomy. The double barrel shotgun has no issues with these scarecrows. Take your own smoky medicine with a spoonful of sugar. Later on in the level you get to take a bath in some green water. And press lots of buttons on this level also. Overall it's a decent level and has some great music tracks and plenty of gore whilst you make your way around this maze-like level. This level gave me Quake-like vibes throughout, but the level itself seemed a lot shorter than the others, but I'm not saying this is a bad thing. In Sawdust, you start off in the woods. Your casual stroll ends swiftly when you bump into your old friends, the Bulls. Chainsaw Men And then finally, mages on top of buildings raining down fire projectiles at you. After playing the Steamworks, this level had a totally different feeling. It was much more open and introduces you to the hunting rifle. There seem to be a lot more scarecrows on this level, but with your double barrel and the odd rivet, then eventually the hunting rifle, they became less of an issue, I found. When you get the hunting rifle, the game instantly spawns you some targets to practice on. The hunting rifle is pretty much a one-shot affair, but you need to save its ammo. Something that I didn't do, but I had tremendous fun taking down these fellas. Going over this bridge, I was glad that the trains won't strike this time. I later found a cave with multiple enemy types. Also in the cave is the Crystal of Madness stuff. This makes enemies attack each other if you place it onto them. Ready to meet these dickheads, and they are more tougher than a job at Asda with two horny trolley assistants giving you the cheeky wink. I think they are undead scarecrows, but how the fuck does that work? Overall, I enjoyed this level as it consists of train tracks, a lovely bridge, a cave full of inbreds, and then, of course, an entrance shaft at the end for good measure. A good level for those who like lonely walks and the odd bit of murder. The Cutty Mine, not to be confused with the Cutty Mine. It's a fun level with a large mine shaft where anything can be lurking, similar to the Steamworks, but a lot more atmosphere and a darker vibe to it. The use of a flashlight becomes more important in the mine shaft, and there's some sneaky tight corners where enemies can be lurking. It's way more maze-like than the Steamworks, with different levers and keys needed to be found. There is loads of dead ends that can make you backtrack and confuse you as you stumble around in the dark, hoping not to grab onto something that is not appropriate. Bit like at one of Prince Andrew's parties. And this is where you meet the super powerful and dead scarecrows again. These fuckers are tough. Give him the double barrel. This cunt is also holding a diamond in here. Now, I've not talked about morale up until now, and it's somewhat important. This is essentially like armor in Doom. Morale reduces your damage by 50% when getting hit, depending on difficulty setting. And looting the rich gives you more morale. Also, the likes of food, sleeping, and drinking beer also increases your morale. There's a lovely underwater secret here at this apparent dead end. Yay, a yellow key card. Now to stumble all the way back to find the door. The voice from above is laughing at you. Ha 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 ha! Overall, this is one of my favourite levels so far of the game, and I've had a bloody good time. Dead of the Night takes you back into a more open style level, where you can get stuck in with your hunting rifle again. I'm quite liking the contrast between the levels, going from close combat situations to further distance scenarios. Keeps you thinking and using different strategies at all times. The level itself is pretty straightforward, and you're presented with a lot of mages from the start. You can have loads of bouncy fun on this level. This is where you get the crossbow. The crossbow allows you to shoot through enemies and walls and does a decent amount of damage, making it a really good weapon. This house does not have the most cleanest of kitchens, and there's some disturbing artwork on the walls. There's some satanic goings on in the attic. I decided to spend the night here as the bed seemed rather comfy, and I'm sure I won't be woken up by 3 bears with fucking anger issues. Outside, the local bulls have got mad cow disease. And all the enemies have decided to get high ground. Must be fucking flooding or something. He decided to evict some more locals from their houses. These guys have an undead scarecrow in the basement. I'm sure that's against their landlord agreement. This well looks a little risky. Fuck, am I stuck? Oh no, there's a small hole for a teleporter. There is plenty to kill in this section. This was also the first time I died in the game since starting, and it was when I decided to walk around the corner into a group of chainsaw men. At the end of this level, you get to fight the Duke brothers, two oversized mages who were against the Atkins diet. Dodge their fireballs and make it snappy. That's a crocodile joke. Haha. So to beat the brothers, I just decided to strafe around the room, using everything at my disposal. It's not a bad boss fight, to be fair. There's that creepy voice again. Overall, another really great level, and it was a pretty solid design throughout. Through the Gates is a decent enough level. It was based in the evening and a lot of ranged combat in it. I started off popping away at enemies with my hunting rifle, mostly a waste of ammo, but again, fun. Quotation marks. There's a little bit of mountain climbing going on with this one, and it's the old locked door trick. Gets them every time. After wandering around for a while, I found a little passage through the mountain, which led me to more killing. So far, the things to kill is increasing from the get-go. Getting us stuck into a bit of beef again. I found the red key, and it was time for some more bouncy fun. Back at the red key door, I found myself in a metal bunker. It must belong to one of those end-of-the-world extremist guys. I did manage to drink their beer and scoff all their food though. I'll just wait for them to come to me. Oh yes, that double barrel never gets old. Oh nice, a Duke Nukem reference when clicking on the computer. Nicely done. In fact, there has been a lot of old school references throughout this. And the gate's open! Ah, shit's gonna heat up now. The blue key gets me into this other building and we get to meet the soldiers for the first time. These guys are pretty hard if you get surrounded by them in numbers. It's in this base that we find the mortar. An okay weapon, works pretty much like a grenade launcher in other games. An alarm went off after opening a large gate to a restricted army base area. Looks like it's gonna kick off now. Here's another reference for you. This place is definitely doomed. This one's not too bad of a level, pretty much a standard affair up till now. There's also a secret that gives you the sword on this level, but I didn't find it on my run. In fact, I missed that many secrets, including the secret bonus level when I did this. But hey, I'm not your mummy. Go discover the world for yourself. The ghost town was possibly my favourite of the levels in this game so far, and you start by shooting a soldier in the head. It has a street type theme, this one, with dusty sand everywhere. I guess you could approach this one in a stealthy way. Unfortunately, I'm not that stealthy at all. There's a lot of houses on this level, and Lloyd Grossman would love this one. Who lives in a house like this? Probably some occultist cunts. The old yellow key and this door is a fucking death trap. Books and beer, two things that never go together, especially when your eyes can't focus from intoxication. No idea how to get to this secret. It's like a total cock tease. What's up with these blokes and their love for basements? It's time to get the flashlight out again. At least it's getting some use. Through the yellow door is where all the army fellas hang out. Oh, a secret room for the occultists. Seems a little cramped down here. More army fellas and a red key. This is the second time I died on this run. Give them all you can on this one. After clearing through the first area, you can go to a blue door with some more chaos. This is the last proper level of the game, as your next one is pretty much a straight boss fight. This is definitely a favourite. And I love how it switched the theme up right at the end. So here we are at the last level. You start off by stocking as much weapons and ammo as you can get a hold of. And it's time to play with some button combinations, which was pretty easy. You're presented with a room of death for the final showdown. Walking down into the room, you see some scientists and soldiers hanging out. Seem to be doing something on the computer consoles. Press some buttons in the room and get ready for war. War! This boss is a large dog-like creature firing fireball projectiles at you. Strafe around the room and rivet the fuck out of him. Use the mortar if needed. Well, that gets the first one out the way. Yes, the first one. The next best option if you're out of rivets and mortars, switch to the double barrel or the crossbow. After you kill the final one, you're presented with the victory tunnel. Until next time.